quarterbacks this year. 40 different starters so far. That's the most since 1950. Who stood out in that crowd to you this week?
Well, Lindsay, we had a lot of young guys last week. Unfortunately, none of those guys were able to double down and get on the list this week. And so a lot more of the staples that you might expect to see in this week's top five. And starting with, I say the veteran guy, the older guy, even though he's not really that old, out in Seattle, and it's Russell Wilson. He is having, in my opinion, his best season to date, completing almost 73% of his passes, which is just incredible. But the way he finds completions is really just special. His ability to make so many different kinds of throws, especially the throws down the field. And when you look at the team, you go, I don't know who he's even throwing to. It doesn't really matter. He just finds ways to make plays. He gets the number 5 spot on the list. Number 4, again, another savvy veteran, been doing this for a long time and just finds ways to make plays. You watch Phillip Rivers play, and sometimes you go, man, how did he make that throw? The arm angle is here. Or it looks like he's got to get his whole body into it, but he's still playing at an extremely high level, making good decisions, spreading the ball around to all his different playmakers. One guy that I just love to watch compete every single time out. Number 3 on my list is a guy that was called by some people overrated just a week ago. So he goes out to Baltimore and picks them apart for almost 350 yards, and it just seems like every time his back is against the wall or the team's back is against the wall, he steps up and plays his best football, exactly what you want from the quarterback position. Baker Mayfield gets the number 3 spot on the list. Number 2, and not very often do I have quarterbacks that don't win on this list, but if you go back and watch the way Matthew Stafford played this past weekend, I couldn't help but put him on the list and to put him all the way up there at number 2. You see the stats there, but it was the nature of the throws, the big-time throws at critical moments that really puts him on the list, and they probably knock off the undefeated Chiefs if it weren't for 2 turnovers tight in the red zone, but played an unbelievable football game. And then maybe the best game of this guy's career, Jameis Winston gets him the number 1 spot. I mean, who saw this coming? 50-plus points against the Rams on the road, a defense that has so many different playmakers, but he was in control. He was getting the ball out on time. He knew where he wanted to go with the football. So Jameis Winston gets the number 1 spot this week.
Jameis, 25 years old. He was one of 11 guys to get a win last week that are 26 or younger. It's the season of the young guys, Kurt. And speaking of young guys, I know you coach a little high school ball there in Arizona, and were part of a really cool moment in last Friday's game in which a sophomore running back scored a touchdown. Why was this touchdown special, Kurt?
Well, it was special because Adonis Watts, that running back that you're talking about, is blind. And it has been so neat to watch our team and the community come together around him. I mean, he shows up every single morning at 5 o'clock in the morning for our practices. He's going through all the drills. And so to see him get in and score a touchdown in his first varsity high school football game was a pretty incredible moment for all of us that were involved and have watched this amazing young man and what he does on a daily basis.
And that's a sophomore, by the way. This isn't like a senior getting a touchdown run in one of his last games. That's a sophomore. So this guy's clearly good. What a really cool moment for his family there. Thank you so much, Kurt. We'll see you again next week. All right, some ground rules for the first quarter awards. These are not early predictions for who will win MVP, coach, and rookies of the year. These honors are given to the men who deserve them